This video is for business leaders who want to make the most of their learning and development for themselves and their employees. Well, the title really says this all. The official title of this episode is actually Crush It Club 199, Self-Control, Not Self-Esteem. For real estate reasons, I use this title and it works just as well, although the SEO likes the longer title better. Self-control, not esteem. Success causes self-esteem, but somehow many psychologists back in probably about the late 70s got it backward. So in the 80s, when it went viral, everybody heard self-esteem causes success. Whether by that time they were aware that it was backward or not, I'm not sure. Unfortunately, and like most viruses, it caused great harm to the point that many well-intentioned but out-of-date consultants, educators, institutions, and parents are still convinced that self-esteem precedes and causes success 40 plus years later. Watch to the end of this episode to get the bonus material, which is a preview of tomorrow's episode, which will actually be an extension. It will go deeper on some of the principles I'm going to talk about today, about how applying self-control through sustained ongoing effort and growth mindset lead to superior training results, and earned self-esteem, which is the real kind, the kind that actually is supported by research. So Roy Baumeister and other leaders in the field of self-esteem back in the late 70s or early 80s, after the research had went on and these conclusions had been drawn, went and looked at thousands of studies about self-esteem to test and see the efficacy and accuracy of that idea. After looking at thousands of research studies, they actually dumped all but about 200 because the other ones, they decided the experimental designs made their conclusions either unverifiable or unscientific. So then they took the remaining 200-ish papers and they did a meta-analysis on these papers that were drawing these conclusions about self-esteem and came to the obvious conclusion that success causes self-esteem, not the other way around. So what that means for you as a business leader, what it means for educators, institutions, parents, or anyone else interested in personal and professional development is that trophies for everyone has to go. So to produce superior L&D or learning and development results, you have to flip the script and reward effort first, success second, and treat failure as an opportunity to learn and improve. So to effectively apply the scientific truth about ongoing self-control and growth mindset over time, causing eventual success, which in turn causes self-esteem. Let me say that again, because that was a little chunky. Self-control and growth mindset over time cause eventual success, which in turn cause self-esteem. In other words, as success is achieved, self-esteem is the result. That is, success produces self-esteem. First, what we have to do is we have to stop immediately saving everyone who's struggling. Struggling is a good thing. Second, we have to allow them to continue to struggle and don't help them until after they have attempted their own solution. That is, they've tried, win or lose, they actually put in the effort and took the risk of giving some kind of an answer or effort towards the challenge. Third, immediately verify whether their solution or answer is correct or not. Fourth, if their answer is correct, celebrate with enthusiastic, positive, happy, or even playful responses. I think this actually works better on the really serious C-suite adults than it does on the young kids. It works on both, but the adults are really surprised to see it and respond really more positively than you would ever expect, and in a happy way. So if they get it wrong, immediately tell them so in a completely non-judgmental and casual ways. I'm like, well, not quite, or no, actually, that's not the case. You do it in such a way that it's honest, but not judgmental. And then you follow by framing the mistakes or any mistakes as no big deal. After all, if they knew all the answers, why would they be in the class? They don't need to be taught or trained if they know the answers. That's why they're inside the classroom. So next, what you do is you introduce the idea of growth mindset. I'm going to assume you understand that for now. I might put a link there, and I'll put something in the description if you don't yet know what that is. But essentially, let me do that again. Next, introduce growth mindset to all present, so all the members in the room, and how mistakes are an inevitable and desirable and necessary part of the learning journey. So whenever possible, you want to indicate why they're wrong. So if they get it wrong, indicate why they're wrong in such a way that it gives them an implicit hint to the correct answer without spoon feeding said answer to them. That is, well, it's something more to do with motivation. I just arbitrarily chose that. But you direct them towards the answer, but you let them come to their own insight as much as they possibly can. And so now ask them to try again, or say, okay, now that you've got that information, what do you think it is? Encourage them, even if you need to, push them gently to try again. Now, after they've tried, and if they get the answer correct, celebrate and praise them in front of the group or to the group for their effort and how that effort led to success in answering the correct question correctly. If they get it wrong, it's no big deal. Acknowledge the struggle, frame it as that necessary and desirable part of learning. Again, it's like, yeah, well, not quite. But then what you're going to do next, of course, because they've now tried twice, now you actually, if need be, give them the overt answer. So you give them the answer as an earned reward for their efforts. Okay, well, since you've tried twice, you didn't quite get it, here's the answer. Some version of that. Now what you do is you rinse and repeat this process in all of your training for the rest of your training career with every single student, regardless of age, ability, or level. And I mean this seriously. I've been doing this for a long time. This is essentially my own system, though it's based on a lot of research as well as a lot of experience. So I've used this system with students from 2 to 82, with zero knowledge, to professors of veterinary medicine, psychology, dentistry, MDs, and currently a fundamental physics professor who's working on superconductivity. I use the same process on all of them. And I also use it on 2 to 5-year-old kids. I've used it to teach factory workers, C-suite executives, and everybody in between in companies that are household names throughout the world, including the US, and ones that you've never heard of. My point here isn't to brag. My point here is to say this works everywhere for everyone because it's fundamental to the way we learn. It works with everybody all the time, period. Congratulations, you've made it to the bonus material, and I'm right on time for this. So tomorrow's episode is about randomly rewarding effort, celebrating progress and success correctly, and how to best learn from mistakes, or how to teach your students to best learn from their mistakes. So that title and the content in there are bonus materials if you know how to apply them. Without watching tomorrow's episode, great, but I'm willing to bet you're actually going to learn more if you likewise watch tomorrow's episode. But there's only one way to know for certain empirically, and that is for you to watch said episode. And the final bonus insight is the more immediately you reward, celebrate, or correct students after they made the attempt, the better. So today's recommended video, I'll put it here again later. I'm busy today. I will put it there. I will put it also in the description. So today's recommended video is Build Confidence into Your Trainees Part 2. That is, surprise, surprise, another one of my videos based on the same basic principles, but going in a slightly different direction. This has been Crush It Club 199, Self-Control, Not Self-Esteem. My name is Tim B. Green. Bye for now.